Tonight, it is my distinct honor to present Niv Leibowitz the award of valedictorian. Niv has distinguished himself not only due to his academic excellence, but also because of who he is as a person and a Jew. Niv, you have never believed you were too young to change the world. You are a mensch who treats others with kindness and respect and sees the good in everyone around you. You embody the values of a Berman graduate, and we are honored to welcome you to the podium tonight.
Hello and bruchim habayim. Toda, gracias, shukran, obrigado, spasiba. There are so many languages in which we can say thank you. However, I think I speak on behalf of my entire class that the thousands of different languages in which we say thank you cannot express our tremendous gratitude to all the teachers, parents, and family who enabled us to reach this milestone. I have to admit, there is something I struggled with throughout high school. Something all struggle with at some point. Getting out of bed in the morning. Raise your hand if you've never struggled with getting out of bed. See, very few hands. As we said in Mrs. Carl's geometry class, QED. To solve this problem, I set loud music to my morning alarm. The music I set was Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto No. 1. This leads me to share a story, not about Tchaikovsky the composer, but about the first international Tchaikovsky piano competition in Moscow. Let me take you back to the year 1958, the height of the Cold War. Tensions between the US and the Soviet Union are extremely high. The space race is on. Spying and suspicion are rampant. Nuclear annihilation is a constant threat. The Soviets started a new international piano competition to show America who's boss, not only in science, but in music too. A group of pianists from all over the world came to participate, but everyone knew a Russian will win, and the competition would be a mere formality. It was inconceivable that a non-Soviet could win the competition. Enter Van Cliburn, a tall, lanky Texan with thick, curly hair. He was going up against the best Russian talent on their home turf, playing their national composers, Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff. Could he pull off an improbable feat? At the final, Van Cliburn walked up to the piano, placed his fingers on the keyboard, and poured his heart out into the music. That's an actual recording of Van Cliburn playing at the competition. He played with virtuosity and was lyrical and emotional. It came from his heart. And as the saying goes, "Dvarim sheyotzim min halev nichnasim el halev." Things that come from the heart enter the heart. His music entered the hearts of the judges, the audience, and the thousands of listeners worldwide. The judges wanted to give him the first prize, but were afraid they'd be punished. So they went to the head of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev, who was at the competition. Khrushchev asked the judges, "Aon i pravda tak charosh? Is he really the best?" The chief judge answered, Da, yes." So Khrushchev responded, Takdayemu etzlotu medal. Then give him the gold medal. The picture of Khrushchev giving Van Cliburn a congratulatory embrace went viral and became a symbol that music can build a bridge between enemies and collapse the walls of animosity and hatred, something we really need today. Think about what Van Cliburn faced. The odds were stacked against him. What were the chances that an American can win a competition whose sole purpose is to show Soviet superiority in the arts? I heard directly from my Russian neighbor, Miss Rima Gurchikov, that everyone thought a Russian would win. However, he didn't let the fear of potentially losing stand in the way of showing up and giving 100%. In the next couple of years, we will face challenges. Some will seem insurmountable, like the challenge Van Cliburn faced. But what will distinguish us is how we handle those challenges. Let's go into each challenge not being afraid to fail. I used to have a NASA-themed coffee mug that says, "Failure is not an option." I disagree. Failure is an option. Indeed, no other American has won the Tchaikovsky competition since then. Rather, failure to try is not an option. The important thing is, when we do try and fail, we must learn from our mistakes and try again. As Ukrainian-born Jewish writer Ashel Barash says, "Al tira mikishlonot, zot torat ha'adam kula." Do not fear failure. This is all a man need know. My second message is based on something we learned about the civil rights movement in Miss Johnson's American history class. One outspoken ally of the civil rights movement was Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Rabbi Heschel participated in the 1965 Selma to Montgomery Voting Rights March, where he marched for 4 days hand in hand with Dr. King and the late John Lewis to support the Voting Rights Act. People asked Rabbi Heschel how he felt during the march. He responded, "I felt my legs were praying." I like this oxymoron. This implies that prayer is not passive, it's an act of doing. When seeing injustice, oppression, discrimination, it's not enough to pray with your mouth. Let's emulate Rabbi Heschel and pray with our legs. Rav Yehuda Amital Zatzal asked, "Why couldn't Noach be the father of the Jewish people? Why did we have to wait 10 generations until Abraham?" Rav Amital answered, "Noach only saved himself from the flood and never tried to actively save others. Compare that to Abraham, who, when Sodom was going to be destroyed, actively tried to save people. Abraham stood up for everyone in the community, whether they were his allies or not, whether they were God-fearing or not. That's why he was chosen." Rav Amital cited the Hasidic mashal. Noach was a tzaddik in a fur coat, who in a freezing room put on his coat to warm only himself. A tzaddik in a peltz, while Abraham was a tzaddik who lit up the fireplace so he and everyone else could enjoy the warmth. As we see acts of anti-Semitism and racism, and as we sadly see violence between Israelis and Palestinians, we can't simply be bystanders. Rather, as it says in Pirkei Avot, "Uv'makom she'ein anashim, hishtadel liot ish." In a place where there are no people of action, take action. Don't be afraid to call out bigotry and dehumanization, and always treat the other with respect and ensure human rights for all. To our teachers and staff, family and friends, Thank you again for guiding us to this achievement. As we walk across the stage tonight, let's remember to roll up our sleeves and not be afraid to fail. Class of 2021, Tafshin Pei Aleph. Let's go out and fix this world. In Gen Z terms, let's get this bread. Thank you and Bahatzlacha.